Hey everyone, I just want to take a few minutes to make sure you're aware of a pretty awesome podcast I released last week. And I say awesome because I assume if you're watching me, you're listening to me, you're a student of leadership like I am, and most of the people who follow me are. And so I want to make sure you don't miss last week's episode. I released it last Friday. It's pretty cool because a gentleman named Tim McGourty, who started his masonry business, he started as a bricklayer in 1977. So been 43 years he's been leading his company, and he's actually bought another company now, but he has TMC Masonry in Boise, Idaho, and he's had that one since 1977, and he's also the owner of another business, Northwest Precast, near Seattle, Washington. And so he heard us speak March 3rd, 2019 in Louisville, Kentucky. We were speaking to a room full of business owners who own precast concrete companies. And so it was pretty cool. He heard us. He had never really heard anything like the content we were speaking about. So he got a couple of our books and he read them on the plane ride on the way home. Then he contacted me. He ordered 400 books, and he had never done anything like formal leadership development for his organization or even for himself. But he has been on fire the last year. They've got amazing results. So if you want to hear how somebody did it who had no idea how to do it and just decided after hearing it, hey, this is what my company's been missing. At the time, 42 years, his company had been missing this. And he's leading a great company, and they were a great group of people. We got to meet them. We got to go out and speak with them. But he just ordered another 400 books, and we're going to go out. As soon as the crisis is over, we'll be headed back out to Seattle and Boise to speak to his teams out there. So make sure you get on that podcast. Over the next 7 or 8 weeks, I'm going to have a different interview with different leaders each week, which is something new to my podcast. Typically, I'm just speaking and teaching about leadership, and I talk a lot about content from my books, and I do different series. But this year, the whole theme on my podcast is transformation. The first 11 episodes were a series on my book, the 10 Foundational Elements of Intentional Transformation, how to become your best self. And I'm going to end the year with a 30-part series on my book, Blue Collar Leadership and Culture, the 5 components for building high-performance teams. So in between these two series, that gives me like 11 weeks to fill in the gap. And what I'm doing is I'm filling in the gap with people talking about how they transform their culture or transform themselves. So I got a lot of different kind of leaders from different kinds of industries, from different size industries. They're going to give you a lot of different insight. So I hope you check out the Blue Collar Leadership podcast. And you can find it on pretty much all the standard podcast platforms. You go to bluecollarleadership.com, look at the podcast tab. I hope you stay well. Talk to you next time.